The Lord said in Luke chapter 10, 5 and 7, He says, and into whatsoever house you enter, first say, peace be to this house. Verse 7, and in that same house remain eating and drinking, such things that they give you, for the laborer is worthy of his hire. And he said, go not from house to house. Don't go from house to house. Breaking through in the kingdom when it comes to soul winning requires spiritual pinpointing and identifying. You cannot save the whole world. Jesus himself one time told his disciples, don't go to the Gentiles, go to the losers of Israel, because you can only do one thing per time. Check the men of God who say that God has called them to take the whole world. They only have influence in one country, in one church. Every other thing they have are branches of other pastors that God has called to those areas. God gives us one place, one person per time. That is God's order. The weight of the kingdom of God is not hanging on your shoulders. Don't try to behave like El Shaddai. If you try to do like El Shaddai, you will die. It will become, you shall die. Only God is El Shaddai. If you try to become El Shaddai, you will become, you shall die. One thing, pinpoint, part-time. Yeah, we say one soul, 1 year. Yes, it doesn't mean, but part-time. You know, part-time. You can zero in on a soul in a week. God can make you conclude that in a week. It can last for 2 months. So you don't know that. But part-time, you are dealing with one thing. Allow God to lead you to one person. Part-time. Focus on that one person. Don't move from person to person. Once you have dealt with that, move to the next one. Am I talking to somebody today? That is God's order. Even in your prayer life. Don't try to pray for the whole world. You are not the only Christian existing. God has 7,000 in Israel that have not bowed their knees to bow. You are not the only Christian. Just like you are a Christian in your city, there are Christians in other cities. Focus on your city. And in your city, focus at some time the person that God has put before your view. Pinpoint, who is God touching now? What is God doing right now? Look at the ministry of Jesus. He was always doing one thing per time. At one time, it was him focusing on the woman of Samaria. That was his focus. He said, my meat right now is that to do the work of him that sent me. That was his focus. He didn't want any distraction. Do you understand? It is people, sometimes people who are too versatile fail in life. Usually it is average people that succeed. People who are too brainy and intelligent end up failing because they have the capacity to try to do so many things at the same time. If you are very smart and sharp, you may end your life being poor. Average people always focus because they already have known, I'm not too intelligent, I'm not too bright, I'm not too strong, and they just focus in doing one thing and they do it, and that is life. Check very well. The greatest professors, intelligent ones, is brain. They don't have nothing. They have answers to everything. These are things we know. We say them, but we don't believe them. Well, for example, they say a jack of all trades. It's what do you say it in America? A jack of all trades is a master of none. A jack of all trades, you master nothing. We are living in the age of specification, of identity. So it is in the kingdom of God. at what Paul said. He said, as Peter is an apostle to the Jews, I am an apostle to the Gentiles. Yeah, identity. Pinpoint. So you, I'm a minister of God. You are not. You work. You have a job. That you go to work from morning till night. So God is not expecting you to go and be taking a city. You already have a job. You're not a full-time person. But yet you have to. So point to one person part-time. You can't save everybody. Even when it comes to my money right now, I've decided that I'm not going to be giving money to everybody that needs it. Because I am not the many-breasted God. God is the only many-breasted God. I have only one. Are you here today? So part-time. Take one person. Invest in that person. When the person is stabilized, move to the next one. And that person will help other people. Then you are not burnt out. You don't get to a point where you now begin to hate giving. Because everybody is just trying to tear you apart. The same thing. That's why many of us are not succeeding in soul winning. Because you just catch the fire. You want to save the whole city. You are everybody. Give your life to Christ. Are you born again? You enter the bus. Are you born again? No. Let God lead you. One person per time. Focus. Fast for the person. Fast and pray. And zero in all your faith on that person. When you do that, you see, people of little energy, when you're able to focus your energy on one thing, you always succeed in getting it through. So if you are going to succeed in soul winning, people are going to listen to me wherever you are that you are hearing me today. Stop chasing the whole world. Don't be too proud. God didn't call only you. God called all of us. Believe that there are other prophets. Focus on one. Be faithful with that. Because success in one thing will always multiply success in others. Don't go from house. Don't go from people to people. Did you receive that? This is an elementary secret of soul winning. How I wish every Christian that I know that are connected with us today will just make up their mind. I am going to focus on that person that God has put on my mind.